Okay, today we're going to show you how to wash your Willows wash bag. You need your sieves, small and large. Large goes on the top. You pour your wash out of the bag. Make sure the sieve's nice and full. You can see it's quite clayey, so it's going to take quite a bit to wash. So what we do, we just move it around a bit. Try to break any of the clay up. You can see there's bits of clay in here. Now what you want to do is bounce your stones, and if you listen, you can hear them bouncing. You also want to spin slightly the sieves around, so you keep them up on your fingertips, just below the water. And what you want to do is you want to get a wave forming in the middle, a little alpha wave that looks like a volcano. That shows you've got the right speed. So there you go, you can see the wave bouncing in the middle there. Don't worry that the water's dirty, it doesn't make any difference, and the water will be dirty after you've done your first sieve. So just keep bouncing it. Now what will happen is each time it bounces, the more dense sapphires work their way to the bottom of the sieve, and moving it around in circles helps centre them in the middle. And you'll see why that's important in a couple of minutes. Okay, so that should be enough to give you an idea of how it works. You can see there's a lot of clay here still, so I'd wash this at least 3 times. Okay, over to the sorting tray, which is just an ironing board. Okay, so there could still be sapphires in there, so you need to wash that a couple of times. So you have a quick look to see if there are any big ones on the top that are sapphires. There are none here. So then we gently, oh, that might be a sapphire there, see? No, it's not. You'll see the difference in a minute. Okay, so you gently flip it over. Now, all the sapphires should be on the bottom and in the middle. Now I put 3 really big bommy sapphires in here so I could show you how it works. 1, 2, 3. So see how they're in the middle because they're more dense, so that's where they get sucked into. Now you see all these little ones around the outside here? They should be in this other tray in the bottom tray here with all the smalls. So I haven't washed this enough. So the clayer it is and the dirtier it is, the more you have to wash it. So let's pick the sapphires out. You can see that's a beautiful crystal shape. It's got the 6 sides of the sapphire. That's a bommy sapphire. Now if you're not sure if it's a sapphire or not, it'll look very different to the rest. So you see how this one looks different to any of the other stones that are in here. Also, if you hold it up to the light, you should see some colour, even though these are bomby and no good. Now, I put 4 big ones in here, and I'm missing one. So, you pull this apart, and I might not be able to find it because I didn't wash this really well. There you go, that's it. See, that was out here on the outer ring. So it means I haven't washed well enough to get them all into the middle. The really big ones did. That's a big one, but it's not as big. So it takes longer to come into the middle. Okay, so that's the top sieve. Now, as I said, with these clay ones, you need to break them up and wash them again because there could be sapphires in there. Sapphires love to hide in clay. So I always recommend you wash the bags at least 3 times, and that's why. Okay, now we've got the smaller one. If I'd washed this more, this would be half full. And this is where all the little sapphires come, and that's what you're normally going to find. So when you flip it over, all you're doing is turning it. Don't throw it or it'll just go everywhere. Okay, so now you want to see if you can see any sapphires here. There's one. There's another one. There's a tiny teeny one there. So there could be, oh, okay, there's one out on the corner. So again, I haven't washed this well enough to push them all in the middle. So I'll start taking a few out and you can see what they look like. So that's quite a nice little blue. Oh, now look. I've moved that blue and look at that lovely green one sitting in there. They're only small. That's a beautiful colour. Okay. There's another nice little light blue one there. You can just see. So you see how you're looking for specks of colour, and you'll get quite good at picking out what's a sapphire and what's not. But that's why I say wash these 3 times, because when you first start, you do miss them. And even experienced people miss them. Okay, that looks like, that's not a sapphire, but it looks like one. That's just a rock. So you'll get to pick them pretty quickly. And like I said, if you're in doubt, hold it up to the sun. If you can see any colour in it, it's a sapphire or a zircon. Now, there's no zircons in this particular one, but the Willows has quite a lot of red zircons. So if you see a red stone, it's not a ruby, it'll be a zircon. Okay, there's another little sapphire there, just a tiny little one. Yeah, so tiny, I'm having trouble picking it up. A little bit of blue. Okay, so as I said, we need to rewash this 3 times because we haven't got all the sapphires out of it. But there you are, that's what you end up with.